everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Hallmark Heartbeats, a podcast all about Hallmark movies. I am your host, Camille. And thank you guys for coming back to listen to another podcast episode reviewing Hallmark movies. This week, we are reviewing the Hallmark movie, A Second Chance at Love, starring Eriq Lasalle, Gloria Reuben, Alvina and Jarod Joseph. First of all, I do want to address last week, which is that I missed the review of When Calls the Heart, episode 3. So I will probably do both this week, both episode 3 and episode 4 of When Calls the Heart on Thursday. So I'm sorry for those for missing out on that. I just wasn't feeling well. So anyway, let's get back to A Second Chance at Love. I have to say this movie I was most excited for when it was announced back in February. Mostly because of two names, Eriq Lasalle and Gloria Reuben. Most millennials and Gen Xers, probably some boomers, know them best for their characters. Dr. Peter Benton and Jeannie Boulay in the 90s medical hit show ER. I mean, like, literally that show was the Grey's Anatomy of its time. It was groundbreaking. It had a lot of diversity, a lot of stories. It spawned Oscar winners. George Clooney was on ER. But yeah, I haven't seen Eriq and Gloria really in a long time, and I think this is the first time they reunited in a project together, and I'm so happy Hallmark got those two to agree to do this movie, because I think we see that they still have the same chemistry as before. Eriq Lasalle is hot, as always, and Gloria Reuben has not changed. That woman is absolutely gorgeous today as when she was playing a nurse in a medical drama. And they still have the same chemistry as before. So I'm going to keep this brief because it's late at night and I'm tired. I just want to say, like, this, I feel like the movie A Second Chance at Love is mostly about codependence. God have mercy, Jesus. Alvina plays Alicia, who is married to Arnold, played by Jarod Joseph. Her parents, divorced parents, are Jack and Brenda, who are, played by Eriq and Gloria. And I swear, throughout the movie, the person I felt most bad for was Arnold. Because it felt like, I mean, I get it. When you marry somebody, you marry into their family. You marry for your family, right? But Alicia, ugh. Okay, so they use the excuse of the fact that, she's a product of divorced parents. But girl, cut the umbilical cord. Like, your parents are grown. You're grown. You have your own family with your husband who wants desperately to have children. And now mind you, Arnold isn't innocent on this because he was more open with his best friend in the gym than he was with his own wife about his desire for kids. But also at the same time, it's like, when is a good time to talk about having kids with your wife when she's running off you know, doing reconnaissance stakeout for for her mom on a date, or like, you know, her mom is coming in during her dinner night with a plate of spaghetti, or I mean, whew, Alicia seriously had attachment issues, I guess is the best way I could describe it, because the two people were she was invested wholeheartedly, very much so, on her parents' life. And I get it, she wants to have the best for them or whatever. But at what point? I mean, like, here's my question to all of the listeners out there. At what point is it okay to just let it go? Let the parents be. Live your life. You're married. I mean, she's been married for 5 years, right? The 5th year anniversary is coming up. And poor Arnold, he is like planning this whole anniversary trip. He wants to take her to this romantic log cabin because I guess, I don't know, there's like the 5th wedding anniversary gift, the traditional, anyway, it's wood. So he thought, oh, how cute, let's do a log cabin, which I actually found really, really sweet. I never knew about these anniversary gift things, but, you know, I thought that was a very romantic idea. You know, he thought Albert, sorry, Arnold is like, we've been married for 5 years. I think it's time to have children. But his wife is still hung on to her mom and dad. So her mom is like single, reluctant to start dating. Her dad had this, what looked to me like a much younger woman as his girlfriend. But her dad, Jack, always runs from a relationship when it gets too serious. So Arnold started, I guess, this dating app called Organic Chemistry, which, as a former medical student who, like, you know, wanted to go to med school and was studying to become a doctor, had me cracking up because organic chemistry is not that, okay? For us science nerds, we know what organic chemistry is, and it is not a dating app. It is nothing to do with dating. It has to do with more with carbon compounds and very, very, very complicated chemistry formulas that just make your head hurt. So anyway, yeah, organic chemistry app. Great job. Alicia signs up her parents to do this app, and they go out on a couple of dates that were a dud. And they kind of like match up to each other without either of them knowing that they matched up to each other, right? Because it was all anonymous. You put in a picture of yourself, but it comes out blurry kind of thing, so that the person who you're matching with doesn't really know what you look like, because it's supposed to be like a match from the inside, getting to know each other on the inside. Then like you meet each other and see if it works out. So they go out on a date, and that's when Jack and Brenda realize that they matched each other, and they had a great time, you know, dinner and dancing, shoot. It was hilarious though, because Jack and Brenda fell asleep on the couch. They went. It was late night. They were watching a movie or whatever. So I guess they fell asleep watching the movie, and so they woke up early morning. Shoe fell on the ground from the couch, and Mama is like upstairs calling down like, "Hey Brenda, what are you doing up?" It was hilarious to kind of see Jack sneaking out of the house. It reminded me of when we were like teenagers, and we push our boyfriends out the house before the mom or dad catches us. But after that one night of dating or whatever, Jack wanted more. He was like, "Hey, let's just hang out and be friends," and Brenda was like, "Sure, let's do that." The montage of them cooking together and taking selfies, yeah, that was cute. But them dancing, that was hot. That was dirty dancing. Baby, nobody puts baby in the corner dancing, minus the lift. And good Lord, I don't remember me dancing with any of my friends like that. Do any of y'all? I was smoking hot, and Gloria Reuben still has the body, or Eriq, yeah. So back to Alicia and Arnold. Like I said, they are having communication issues. Alicia is taking care of her parents and worried about her parents' lives and worried about their relationship. She knows that Arnold met a woman. She knows that Brenda met a guy. She just doesn't know that her parents' other person is the other, if that makes sense. So she's out of the loop. The parents are like hiding that they're hanging out from their only daughter or whatever. So Brenda has, I don't know, Brenda gets scared because Jack wants this to continue and wants to make this serious or whatever. So to let Alicia know what's going on between the two of them, and Brenda's like, "No, I moved on from you. This isn't what I want. This is going too fast. This is not what we agreed upon." Even though honestly, those two were a lot of chemistry between the two of them. But yeah, Alicia, was like trying so hard to get her parents to have a happy life, but in the process sacrificed her own marriage, I guess, with her husband. Here's the thing. Her husband cooked a romantic dinner for her. Really cute dinner. So that when Alicia came home from work, she works as a hairstylist. They would have a conversation about having a child together. But also at the same time, the same day, Alicia found out that her mom was going on a date at Selena's. And she was like, "Hey, let's just put this wonderful food in the fridge for tomorrow or something, and let's go to Selena's for dinner." And that's when Arnold was like, "What's going on in Selena's?" And that's when Alicia tells him, "Hey, look, my mom was supposed to go on a date at Selena's and I don't want to go or whatever." And yeah, that did not sit well with Arnold, and it probably would not have sat well with me either. So yeah, there were a couple of moments there where I was worried that Arnold was going to pull out some divorce papers. And that dinner scene was definitely one of them. So anyway, after like calling it off with Jack, whatever was going on between them, Jack went back to his much younger ex-girlfriend. And, well, Brenda catches Jack with this younger girl. And she's pouty faced, like, what's happening? You know, I thought you and me we have a thing. That's when Alicia finds out that, you know, her parents were secretly dating behind her back. And then Alicia does the most craziest thing ever, which is invites her mom to the log cabin that she was supposed to go with her husband for their 5th wedding anniversary. Do you realize how... Oh my God. I was like literally screaming at the TV like, girl, you're a grown adult. Cut the umbilical cord. It is time. Oh my God, your husband had booked you into this beautiful log cabin or whatever. And they had rose petals on the bed, right? So, you know, they had romance plans. Bow chicka wow wow. Plans. They had baby making plans for that log cabin. And then mama is there. It's like, honey, I know how much of a killjoy it is when your parents join you on a vacation at a log cabin. Oh my God, I can't believe that we're talking about this. But yes, log cabin no-nos. Don't bring your parents with you to your 5th wedding anniversary vacation. That just sounds horrible. Who thought that would be a good idea? That is just a horrible, horrible, horrible idea. Anyway, I guess at the end of the first day at the log cabin, they have like dinner and dancing, a little party going on. And Alicia and Arnold invite Brenda down. And while there, Alicia's looking around, you know, and that's when we realized, yeah, she also invited Jack. And Jack came, and, you know, professes his love for Brenda. Brenda's like, oh, you gonna tell the whole world you love me? And so he, like, got up on the DJ and was like, hey, can you stop playing the music or whatever? He professes his love to Brenda and then gets down on one knee and proposes. Like, oh, you're my one and only love. I love you. You're the only person I've ever loved. That kind of thing. Let's get married again. And she says yes, which is crazy, but also, like, believable, I guess, because they do have a lot of chemistry. It was hot. And obviously, they were together for at least 30 years. So, it's not like they just met within 2 months of proposing. And, you know, at the end of the movie, Jack and Brenda get married. Alicia and Arnold have their miracle baby, Elise Leanne Owens. And Alicia and Arnold have learned the lesson of taking it back to the basics. God and family first. Everything else will take care of itself. So, yeah. I like this movie. I did like the movie. I liked the pacing. There was a lot of comedy, but also for me, a lot of frustration. because I was like, girl, you're a grown adult. Your parents are a grown adult. I think it is time for you to cut that cord and let them go. Oh my goodness. It was a pretty good movie, and I'm excited to hopefully see more of Eriq and Gloria. I did see a little Instagram exchange between Holly Robinson Pete and Eriq about possibly working together again, and considering Holly just signed an exclusive deal with Hallmark, maybe it will happen. I would not be mad about it. I think that Hallmark has a long way to go with diversity. This is a nice step with most of the cast black. All of the leads are black. They had a great, older love couples, older romantic story of an older couple kind of thing. But it took almost 4 months into 2022 for there to be any kind of diversity in Hallmark movies. This is the first time where any of the lead couples were a person of color, were black. There was one with Mazdine Contractor and Brendan Elliott back in January. But again, that was an interracial couple kind of thing. This was the first movie where it was a BIPOC relationship. Hallmark just announced this week that they were doing their first Hallmark Mahogany movie, and it frustrates me how the reaction to it, because a lot of people are like, well, this is too much, or why do we need an all-black cast or to tell an all-black story? And I'm sitting there going, this is too much what? It took almost 4 months for them to have an all-black, mostly black casting in a Hallmark movie. That's like, what? 1 out of, give or take, 15 movies that were shot, that were airing in 2022, and you're telling me that too much? Like, what is wrong with people this year? Let's just say I'm one of those. And here's the thing: we haven't even touched on Hispanic or Latinx or Asian or anything like that. And it's like too much. Y'all people need to take that word out of your vocabulary, because unless you want, because pretty much I will be starting to say too much when another, anyway, let's just. Hallmark has 30 years history of being an all-white channel, okay, who's ignored minorities, who have ignored the LGBTQ community, who have ignored and the disabled. I think it's about time they start catching up, and it's never too much. That's my opinion. Anyway, Thursday I will be reviewing episodes 3 and 4 of Fun Calls to Heart. Both episodes were great. I loved them. I am starting to see chemistry developing between Nathan and May Sue. I am absolutely falling in love with Lucas and Elizabeth. I think they're cute. Trouble is brewing in Hope Valley. It's just, yeah, there's a lot to catch up on on Thursday. Next week, the movie is Just One More Kiss, starring Crystal Rodriguez. I'm excited to see that movie. A little bit of Broadway. Also, Always Amore, starring Tyler Hines and Autumn Reeser, comes out as well at Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. And we also have One Calls the Heart, episode 5. I can't wait to see you guys some more for Spring Into Love. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.